Ever wondered where history, culture, and stunning landscapes collide? With over 27 million annual visitors, Portugal in southwestern Europe is a traveler's paradise. Now the big question, Lisbon or Porto? We are Victor and MJ and we are travel agents. So we do travel for work. Today, we invite you to join us on a visual journey exploring the captivating cities of Lisbon to Porto and discovering hidden gems in between. In this video, we are on a lookout for picture-perfect places, mouth-watering Portuguese food,
that looks good.
meet friendly locals.
You're gonna steal it from me.
Not that one, this one. And an introduction to their unique music scene. And we start here. Lisbon, a city that blends old and new. As you walk down its streets, it will both surprise and delight you.
Lots of steps.
Enjoy its charming hills and hop on an iconic yellow tram.
This is the most iconic tram here in Lisbon. Reason why is because it goes on such a high incline.
Or even a more creative vehicle. Admire its busy and bustling streets or explore its picturesque neighborhoods on foot. Get lost in a maze of narrow streets that reveal friendly locals.
Codfish?
É, vai te dar, filha.
Ah. Obrigada.
Nada, filha, nada.
A hidden gem at every turn. You will find a contrast between modern street art and traditional architecture. Encounter lots of stairs that lead you to stunning views, cobblestones, beautiful cathedrals, or perhaps an interesting doorway.
5.5 kilometers from the center of Lisbon is the historic district of Belém. A gift from South Africa in 1960, it is a huge marble map of the world on the ground,
Philippines.
showing the routes and dates of the Portuguese explorations. Another monument from 1960 that honors the explorers and their patrons that started their journeys in 15th and 16th centuries. This is a 52-meter high small ship sculpture with a view of the city and the river. Have a drink or a stroll to a 16th century fortress and a getaway to Lisbon, the UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And you must try this. It's the original and most famous Portuguese egg custard tarts. They are so world famous that we were very eager to try it.
What do you think of the lion?
Must be so good.
Oh,
Whoa!
so with the guide we had a shortcut. We got inside through the exit.
Customary here is adding sugar and cinnamon to the pastry, and let's try it.
Just gonna steal it from you.
You're gonna steal it from me. It's so good that even the birds want to eat it. Crunchy on the outside, and then inside is just like moist, nice sweetness. You can taste the egg in it, barely. It's actually very good, so I can see why people go there.
Welcome to Sintra, a fairy tale town 30 minutes away from Lisbon with many castles, palaces, and gardens. A UNESCO World Heritage Site that has inspired many artists, writers, and travelers. A colorful and most enigmatic estate. It has a chapel and a palace.
This from literally every single element is from wood, from the ceiling to the floor.
It's quite unusual for us to see this. This is something new. The details, the design, it's really, really beautiful. Check out the paintings. Welcome to the entrance cave of Dante's Inferno.
This spiral staircase goes down 6 stories deep, designed to represent the 9 circles of Dante's Inferno, a medieval poem, or known as the 9 levels of hell, going towards a long maze of tunnel that eventually ends with a light.
This tour is pretty extensive. I like the fact that you go around looking at the gardens, the wells, and in the forest.
It gives you that feeling that you're back in time.
There's a lot more outdoor. I think that's the highlight. But the palace itself is also amazing.
Observe Portugal's love of music in every corner.
And now, after all this, it is time for some Portuguese food.
Oh, that looks good. When I ordered sardines, I was kind of afraid it wouldn't be enough. But from the look of this, I think it's more than enough. There you go. It's savory, it's tender, and it's fresh. All you want on your seafood.
The best Portuguese octopus I've ever had.
Can I try?
No.
Would you share this with your spouse? Leave a comment below.
"30 minutes from Sintra" is a popular stopover for photos.
This point is a narrow granite cliff that stands about 144 meters high. And it boasts the view... I can't do this. And it boasts the view of the Atlantic Ocean. And can you guess what's behind me? And if you guess America, you are right. And it's really windy here.
And before the world was round, this actually was the edge of the world. In fact, this is the most western point of Europe.
On our way back from Cabo Rosa, 25 minutes away from Lisbon, is the city of what is it called? The city of Cascais. And if you're familiar with James Bond,
Who is this? The name's Bond. James Bond.
Ian Fleming's first book, Casino Royale, was inspired at this very place. And interesting enough, back during the World War II, a lot of spies resided here and took refuge. The number one reason they stayed here was because they can easily escape to the Atlantic Ocean. And the second reason is the ice cream. What are your most famous flavors?
Usually the fruits. We have the lemon and with the lemon. Pineapple.
This one? Yes. This pineapple is good.
Want to tell me which flavor this is?
Raspberry. Okay. And the mango. Definitely the mango. This ice cream shop is the most famous ice cream in all of Portugal.
Part of Portugal's culture is its music. Visited by the likes of famous people such as Cristiano Ronaldo.
Your trip in Lisbon is incomplete without experiencing the traditional and soulful music of Portugal, enjoyed with a local meal. Fado means faith in Latin, and Fado music is the heart of the Portuguese soul. It is performed by a singer, usually accompanied by a Portuguese guitar. It is required to be very quiet as to not disturb the performers. It reveals passion, feelings of love,
You could feel the feelings in the song either. You don't understand a single word she was singing, but the emotions were there across the room.
And also of celebration and joy.
MJ just became a certified
Portuguese.
Fado singer.
Yes. You'll have to watch my show. Siya damay, shadow Lisboa. Right?
And means?
It means it smells like flowers. Smells good in Lisboa. Did I say it right?
It smells good, it smells like this one.
Lisboa. Lisboa.
E a porta sempre fechada, nem raios do chão nem andar, me servem de habitação. Nem raios do chão nem andar, me servem de habitação.
It is now time to leave Lisbon.
On your way to Porto, you can stop by this cute town called Obidos. It's a fortified town which holds a festival every 2 months. And right now is the Christmas and New Year festival. I just noticed the cats. You see them by the door and then you see them by the windows. They're all watching you.
You can even climb here on the city walls, have a better view of the town itself and the surroundings around the city.
It kind of reminds me of Dubrovnik a little bit.
In a mini version.
Blackbird singing the dead of
The second stop you can do is this town Nazare. It's very famous for its surf, and the reason behind this is because it has huge waves. The biggest one recorded was 40 meters tall. It actually can cover that rock right there. But today they are much smaller. In fact, those big waves are only about 15 days of the year, and it's very, very random. So surfers from all over the world, they usually come here for 3 months at a time. They every morning wake up and hope for those big waves. On the top of the cliff, you can have this gorgeous view, but just know that you might be standing right on a cliff hanging.
We're standing on a cliff. Let's go down. I'm scared.
It's also a perfect place for hiking with lots of picture-taking opportunities. The Portuguese really have a diverse and creative music performers. We arrived late in the city of Fatima, the most important pilgrimage sites for Catholics. We made sure to pay respect, give thanks, and pray for our friends and loved ones.
And this is for my family.
And stayed overnight. If you are into history, Tomar is a charming town in central Portugal and most famous for Convent of Christ complex, a beautiful medieval chapel and a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture, once a stronghold of the Templars in the 12th century and part of UNESCO World Heritage. Coimbra, once a capital of Portugal, but today a student city. It is home to the oldest university in the country, founded in 1920. A tradition that dates back in the 16th century, you will notice students wearing black capes.
And so we are selling some postcards and taking some pictures. We don't ask for a specific amount. If you want to help, you just give whatever you want.
It has inspired one of the most famous fantasy stories of all time. And yes, you probably guessed it, Harry Potter.
Did I do it right?
Ask the cactus.
Welcome to Venice. Just kidding. We're still in Portugal. This is another stop that you can do on your way to Porto.
The Venice of Portugal. Here, visitors can take a boat tour on traditional molicero boats, adorned with vibrant colors and decoration. At last, introducing the second largest city in Portugal, a city of contrast where the humble and the grand coexist in harmony. Discover Old Town Porto and enjoy a panoramic view of the city from a cable car or impressive train stations.
Here you will find the train station, which is famous for its 20,000 blue and white tiles that represents the past. And if you look closely, you will see that a lot of these workers are happy and smiling while they're doing their job.
Meet unusual street displays. Walk along the busy small streets and cafes that make it quite unique.
Welcome to McDonald's of Porto. It's supposed to be fancy. Check that out.
Explore parks and monuments that showcase its art and history.
Not just a city, it also has a river. The Douro River is the lifeblood of Porto and the Douro Valley, the oldest wine region in the world. Embark on a river cruise adventure that will take you to the heart of its magnificent landscape. Marvel at the unforgettable and spectacular views of the city and its bridges.
And an absolute must to do here in Porto is the wine.
World-famous port wine is both complex and fascinating. Due to its richness and depth of flavors, a tasting experience can include berries, chocolate, spices, and even a subtle woodiness.
Right here is the measurement on how much wine holds this barrel. What you can see right here, it's actually the wine. And this particular barrel holds 45 barrels of wine, which is equivalent to almost 25,000 liters. That's incredible. A lot of wine.
It's sweet. This is the best part of the tour. Now let's try the red wine. Oh my gosh. This is dangerous. It contains 20% alcohol. And when you haven't had lunch yet, it's really dangerous.
While drinking, we'll learn that actually the real port wine will have a paper stamp. If you go to the store and someone is trying to sell you port wine and it doesn't have a paper seal, most likely it's not a port wine.
Being a big fan of Anthony Bourdain, this restaurant is one of the places that he featured. They have this special hot dog, the traditional cacho inyo. Cacho means dog and inyo means its mouth. So we're excited to try the food. This is a local place and you normally eat this with your hand. So the bread is crunchy, and then when you bite into it, you feel the cheese, the meat, and there's a little bit of spice in it, which is just enough. Oh, that looks beautiful. Wow. Obrigada.
So what you saw right now is called francesinha with egg. But, oh yeah, beer and whiskey. That looks interesting. It's really good. So basically you have the bread, the meats, the cheese, egg, and the sauce. It has a little bit of spice in it. It's just an explosion of flavors.
How do you say cheers?
Saúde.
Salud.
Odi. Salud. Salud.
Saúde. Saúde.
Saúde.
Saúde. Saúde. Like saúde.
Not hell.
Not ill. Saúde.
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 Yeah.
Saúde.
Saúde. They were very sweet and they let us try the local drink called Jinja. Saúde. Not with an L. Saúde. Oh, it's smooth. I like it. And it tastes like cherry or something. Oh yeah, it tastes like cherry. If you want to do some food shopping, this place is the most famous one in Porto.
Shop for key ingredients to cook or a surprise for loved ones.
Also, you'll find here a lot of cod. In fact, Portuguese, they are saying that they have 355 recipes for the cod. That's how much cod they eat.
But today on our menu is something else.
Sardines is a different sardine. It's called tingas. It's a small sardine. It's more nutritional, but it's very good. This one is very big.
This is my first time to eat a horse fish. It's a horse mackerel, not the It's a little bit big. So okay, watch out. I'm surprised it doesn't really have any fishy taste. It's good with crackers. That's the first time I tried it like this. So we were recommended to try this restaurant tonight that is supposed to be like traditional Portuguese. Since we love the food in Lisbon so much, we are curious to see how we would like it here.
It's very common here the starters to be served without ordering them. If you eat them, pay for them. If you don't eat them, you don't pay for them. So they're not complimentary, be aware of that. Although they're not very expensive. Usually it's like €1 or €2. Fish cake. Very good. Also, here is no music at the restaurants, and it makes this totally difficult to vlog because of the people watching, but me talking to you right now, to the camera. Cut.
Okay, it's flaky, it smells so good. The lemon on the fish, which is actually Victor's food, but I took it.
And the dish that MJ ordered, it's a stew. So, Lisbon or Porto?
Lisbon is the place to go to if you want busy, if you want cosmopolitan, and you want to cover a lot more things. It is perfect if you have a shorter period of time to visit because it is within vicinity to check out all these other beautiful locations that are iconic. Now, if you go to Porto, this would be perfect if you want a little bit less crowd, but just as busy because everything is walking distance and you get to do wine tasting and also you get to do the boat tours, which is really, really something else, seeing all the iconic bridges.
And if you want a trip like this, travel to Portugal, you can book this with us. We can organize for you a self-trip so you can drive it around yourself, or even a bus tour like we did it. That way you don't have to think of anything at all.
You can do this trip on your own, or if you want the logistics, the hotels, all of that mapped out and planned out for you, we do this kind of trips. We curate and create itineraries for you.